right, welcome to the Krueg Show, everybody. Larry Krueger, Ryan Smith, Dan Coccimilgio en route to his microphone. Danny was spectacular in the crowd tonight. We got the fans in the left field bleachers fired up. We'll play some of that sound a little bit later on. But the Giants, man, the Giants been listening to Danny, been listening to me complaining about their inept offense that couldn't plate, I think the Giants had scored 3 runs or less, like 10 of the last 17 games or something like that. It was a ridiculous stat. I think I probably butchered it there, but yeah, they've been scoring not very much, a lot recently. And tonight, that was not the case as they bust out early, 13 runs, Giants win it going away. And just an impressive win overall, I'd say, for the Giants ride, just from the standpoint that, you had to have this one. It was a bad loss last night. Logan Webb on the mound. You got your ace out there. You're at home. He's been incredible at home. And the Giants go long ball tonight. 4 home runs against Arizona. Webb went 6 shutouts, struck out 8. And the Giants get a 13-0 win. It started in the first. Mercedes with the RBI double to make it 1-0. VR hit the inside of the park home run. Well, actually, it was a Little League home run. The triple in the air. That made it 4-0. Bart hit a bomb to center, 430 feet to make it 5-0 in the second. Mercedes then hit another shot that scored Slater. 7-0 Giants. Estrada hit one out to left. He stays hot. 8-0 Giants. And then Estrada with another 2-run shot to make it 10-0. Slater with an RBI single to make it 11-0. And then Wilmer Flores with the double to deep left off of the hitter who was pitching at the time. That scored Bart. That made it 12-0. 13-0 was the final. What'd you think? Big offensive show. It was great to see, by the way. I would love, here's the thing. I don't know how you feel about baseball. I like offense. I like watching offense. I want to see runs. I want to see doubles. I want to see homers. I want to see offense. I want to see some action. So, I like a good 2-1 game as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I can't understand or appreciate, a 2-1 ball game, especially if it's crisp. There's been some really, really good low-scoring games at times this year, but I like to see offense, right? I like to see guys swing it. 3 hits for Slater, 3 hits for Mercedes, 3 RBIs for Estrada, a couple RBIs for Villar, who's having very good at-bats, 2 hits for Joey Bart. And I have to say, this is one of the more encouraging games of the year. Dallas Keuchel's at the end of his career. Looks like he just had absolutely nothing. But man, big win for the Giants. And not only that, this team has been a freaking bore, and we've said it most of the year consistently. But you know what? Tonight was not a boring game at all. There was a lot of juice in the yard. They got runs early. They're up 8-0 after 3, 14 hits. I like seeing, a round, a lot of offense, and we got that tonight. And it was, look at the vibe in the yard when you can plate 13 runs, and it's a good show. And it was a much more, the Giants looked like an entertaining team tonight.
Absolutely. Oh, Larry, I think you have a commercial going in the.
This is the highlights. There we go.
No worries. I 100% agree with all of that. I think last night I said, they gained a little bit of trust with me by winning, by the way they've been playing. And even though, last night was a disappointing loss, still, at least I felt like they showed some heart. And I thought the guys showed up. They seemed like they were still locked in. I think I said, they're no longer they're not on a hot streak by any chance, but, or by any means, but they're also not completely cold. They're simmering, and all it's going to take, if we just have a big night the next night, I think we're back to being in a hot spell. I think we're in for a hot spell. Now I think that's what we're in for. I think the floodgates are going to be a little bit open heading into the All-Star break. At least I don't, not even necessarily as much, in terms of wins and losses. I do think obviously they're going to win a lot more, but I just think that this team's going to hit. I think this team's going to hit, and it seems like all their pitchers are ticked off. Hell, I mean, I don't know why, but it kind of fired me up the way Luis Gonzalez was just battling out there in the ninth. Like
with his eephus pitch curveball.
Dude's
Look at that
throwing
curveball, man. That thing, he just floats that bad boy up there. How many outings, by the way, on the mound so far for Luis?
He's like seriously getting a legitimate ERA. Like,
I mean, he got pitches every week.
But how about he was going like 42 to 89, like just pitch to pitch.
Yeah, that's changing speeds.
That's changing speeds.
There he is. There he is.
Hey, how you guys doing? I was listening a little bit in the car. I just got home here to my brother's place. So, man, what a game! I mean, finally, the Bats woke up. I guess I just need to keep tweeting out that about Austin.
Oh no! Wins. Oh, Dan, you can't even. Not even on such a joyous day, but unfortunately. Yeah, wait, Dan. Try and talk. There's something wrong with you.
Look at Mark Graves, just aggressive, just super aggressive, muting Danny. I mean, literally a minute. Danny hasn't even sat down. Yeah, he's still got the jacket on. He hasn't had his ice cream yet. He's got the orange sickle hat. He's taking his show on the road. He'll go sideways if you have to go. Look at that. Look at that. He lit up the bleachers tonight. We'll play you some of that. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe that. That was just a thing of beauty. I think Danny's our man on the street.
I know. I wish that he lived in the Bay Area. And, like, I would go to every game with you, Dan.
Oh, my God.
It would be unbelievable. Go get a dumb. Oh, wow. Now he's talking ass. Mark Graves did not like that disrespectful sign-off.
Where's Graves? What's Graves saying?
Graves I thought he was going to say unmute him. He said, go get a drumstick, Dan.
Go get a drumstick. Go get a drumstick. Graves is taking victory laps on Danny. Now, if you're just tuning into the Krueg Show for the very first time, Dan Graves is on mute. All right. We go to unmute Danny.
Graves is.
Oh, no, there you go. Sorry, we both unmuted you, which that's, it's like a double negative. All right, there we go. Now you're unmuted, right?
Yeah, Graves had to wait 22 hours to do that after we had probably over, about 22 hours after we signed off, and I hit him with my 22.
Dan's still taking the W.
Let's explain to people what's going on here. People saying, what the hell, muting and the Graves, and what are we talking about, and all this insider jokes. Okay. Basically, we've been doing this live stream for a while. The Krueg Show started in March. We are now in the 12th of July. So, we're roughly 3 months old, and we got some regulars in there. And some of them, if you're in the chat right now, and if you look at the people in the chat, if you're in green, that means you're a club member. You're a club member of the Krueg Show. And we gave Mark Graves, who's a club member of the Krueg Show, one of our favorites, basically we gave him the power. I would say maybe 2 weeks ago or so, maybe more, where he can just at any point in the live stream say that Dan needs to be muted, or any of us need to be muted. But, it's Danny that he typically goes after. I'm not sure why, but anyway, Graves goes after Danny. He says mute him, and when he does, we mute him. And when that happens, that means Danny can't be unmuted until Graves gives the blessing of the unmute. And that's how it goes. But that's only because he's a team member. Ranger 44 in the chat's a team member. Romo 2001 is a team member. And you too could be a team member. All you got to do is click join on YouTube and you will be a team member. In fact, Vicky checking in, Vicky Boone, she is also a team member. I joined the same night as Mark. Can I mute Mark? That's awesome. Yeah, now we have people muting each other.
I love it.
Should we give Vicky some power? I mean, do we let Vicky have the power to undo what Graves does? That's the question.
Yeah. There could be an argument. It could be a slippery slope because we have a lot of great people that have been members and that are members longer than both Mark and Vicky, but. You know what? It's a little bit like winning a copy of Madden or like a Madden code. It comes out of nowhere. You'll never see it coming, and it's a limit. It's a one size, or it's a one per. So maybe
okay. So we'll come up with something different for Vicky. But Vicky,
Greg says, he goes, I didn't know I had free range. I think he thought it was just me. You gave him free range over Larry, and Ryan.
Well, effectively, we can say that because Larry and I have the power to unmute ourselves.
Yeah, I don't have the controls here, man.
You don't have the controls. No, you're just a financial advisor with a lot of money in the bank and a nice orange hat. All right, that's
see what I rank, everybody. I go out into I'm man in the stands. I put my life on the line with a bunch of drunkards.
Okay, so now let's get right to it. Okay, so we just started talking about the game. 13-0 Giants. They're hitting. Danny, they're hitting. It's amazing. We want your thoughts on it.
Austin Wynn, since I ripped him, is a plus 25 as a DH.
Exactly.
Not only that, but Austin wins caused Dan to miss the Bart home run call because Dan was busy tweeting about Austin Wynns.
Okay, but Danny had the greatest moment I think I've ever seen tonight. And Danny, I've already seen the video, and it's I guess you taped it sideways or what happened?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
The angle wasn't right, but it doesn't matter. We're showing it anyway. Mark Graves says like and subscribe, peeps. So that's another reason we love
Mark
Graves.
He's a company man.
He's a company man, and he'll fight for his right to promote the Krueg Show channel. That was a little Beastie Boys for some of you old school. Okay, Vicky says I don't have $200. $200. What is $200? What does she need $200 for?
Vicky gets power if she donates $199. I think that's.
Oh, I got you. I don't have $200. Vicky, don't worry about how much money you have to donate. But if you do want to donate, not just Vicky, anybody, you can. You can donate to the show at any point, which is a cool attribute of the show as well.
I did wrong with the video. I started it out like this, and then I turned it. And I think when you
I'll say this: you're a shitty videographer, but you're a phenomenal stadium performer. And if people don't know, it's if they don't know, now they know. Now I'm quoting Biggie. All right, here we go.
And also, I don't want to step on the video, but I want a couple things to look out for during this video. I have 3 things that I to look out for, other than the obvious awesome hilarity. Okay. I want everyone's opinion on whether or not the crowd seemed like they were aware of who Larry Krueger was before, because he said they're going to be on the Krueg Show. They seemed a bit apathetic, but I
don't think it was apathy. I think it was just shock. Yes. Shock that I would have my own man on the street. You know what I mean?
That is it. They were like, wow. Larry's really pulling in the big bucks on the street.
Okay, you guys got to see this. You guys got to see this. Seriously, this is awesome. I mean, seriously, this is awesome. I think this is the kind of thing that may even be bigger than the Monster Slam, to be honest. I mean, the Monster Slam was Danny and his Peter Brady moment, but this is like David Letterman crap. I mean, this is like, this is awesome. Here we go. Roll the tape.
What's your name? Taylor Bentley, baby. What is it? Taylor Bentley. Woo! Taylor Bentley. He just caught Tyler.
Wait. I'm sorry. Well, already a funny thing happened. Dan, I'm pretty sure you asked him twice, and both times he said his name was Taylor, and then you still called him Tyler.
Taylor Bentley.
Wait, this is right. Danny's in the left field bleachers. Danny, before this guy just caught a home run, like literally seconds before.
Yeah, I was out there and I had to just scroll over to where the ball. I went out there and I'm going to go interview, and I'm thinking, shoot, I should get in position for Estrada. He might hit another one, but he hit it to the left of me, and I was like, there's no way I could get to it, but I was right even with it. It was just over like 15 feet.
You're so like Danny's in the and now who'd you go to game with tonight?
My wife.
Did you drag her to the bleachers?
She waited over there. She didn't come into the bleachers. She's she's got too much class.
At any point did she say you have money in the bank? You're a damn fool.
You're a degenerate. You're
a degenerate. All right, here we go. Danny working the crowd, and look how it goes. This is just epic.
Taylor Bentley, baby. What is it? Taylor Bentley. Woo! Taylor Bentley. He just caught Tyler Estrada's second home run.
Look at the kid.
Let's go. Wait a minute. You got Estrada's first home run. And you got a second. Let's go. Check this out. Estrada's home runs tonight. All right. Now, okay, you guys are going to put you on the Larry Krueger show tonight. All right. Okay.
Turning
Hey,
on
let's
heads.
get a chant going. When I say Larry, you guys say Krueger. Larry! 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 Larry Krueger! Come on, how about if
Oh my God, that is hilarious! Oh my God!
The guy at the end.
And then the guy at the end's like, "What the fuck? What the?"
That
Oh
kid
my!
too.
Oh my God! How about the kid in the front row? The kid in the front row has never looked more confused in his life. Show the kid in the front row. He's just epically confused. Look at this kid down here. He's like, "What's going on here? Where's my mom? Where's my dad? Am I okay here?"
There's a great shot of the kid at the beginning too.
Oh, that is so good.
Look at this kid's face here. He's like,
he's afraid, man. He's afraid.
what is going on?
Larry Krueger! How about if
Oh, Danny, that is spectacular.
That was funny because what happened was I was out there in left field and it was kind of like there's not a lot of action going on, and there was this one guy. Dan paid him off. Sausages, Dusty.
Yeah. Did you have Pasquale out there with you?
Yeah. So the first time I'm out there, I just sent Rye the video, and there's this. It's another upside down. See, last night I interviewed the guy. I just need to keep the camera at one angle. Anyway, so this one guy, he's all hyped up, and he's trying to get the crowd fired up, and he's yelling at everybody, and he's like, we're in the bottom of the seventh, and they're doing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and he's like trying to, fist pump everybody. Come on, stand up. So I go, oh, these guys, man, they've had enough to drink, so I'll get these guys. So I first did the Larry Krueger with these guys, and they were check this one out, Ryan. It's about 56 seconds long.
You got to give me a second because I have to convert the video to a different file.
Okay.
Kid Tricksta, he says, I think Dan's got to wear the Krueg Show t-shirt and start handing them out. Dude, how great would that be if Danny presented people in the bleachers with Krueg Show t-shirts if they caught the home run ball? I mean, it's not enough home runs to make it worth it. But if the Giants were some epic home run hitting team, how sweet would that be? Dusty's like, Larry's got a fan base. Dusty, don't be surprised. Don't act like you're not impressed. Don't act like you're not impressed.
So
Romo 2001 donates $2. He says, "Bravo, Dan, LOL." Yeah, I mean, Danny, that was Patrick Shea and Danny Krueger. Oh my God. Krueg Show. Larry has his own carnival barker. Oh, Dusty Gold. Danny paid him off with sausages. Could you imagine? That would be the only thing better than that would be if Danny was with this guy.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner.
Pasquale in the left field bleachers would have been epic.
So these first guys, they were ready to go. I mean, they were just, come on. And
all right. I think I've got
Romo 2001. Fans go to see a Giants game. Dan turns it into a Larry Krueger rally. Make YouTube great again. Oh my God, that is an epic. Nick J. Krueg, what's the budget for Danny on the road? We need him on every roadie.
Could you imagine? Wait,
that would be so awesome. So awesome.
That airs like at the Diamondback games. And
they'll be down there in a couple weeks.
Oh my God. Somebody said Dusty Gold's like, how about some Pasquale shirts too? Oh, that would be epic too.
Like a Pasquale chant. That would be
so this guy,
that would be awesome. And it goes viral, Pasquale chanting.
This tall guy in the black sweatshirt with the black and white tennis shoes standing up there.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was trying to get everybody fired up. So I went and videoed him. So it's pretty much just kind of similar, but no home run balls. This guy was just, listen to him. He's just kind of like, yeah, we're doing the old ball game here. My camera work. I got it turned in the wrong way.
I'm turning my head sideways to watch it.
all right, let's get fired up here. Who wants to be up? Yeah! All right, we're out here in the bleachers for the Larry Krueger show.
Larry Krueger!
Yeah, we're gonna be on YouTube right now tonight. All right. Okay. When I say Larry, you say Krueger. Larry.
Krueger!
Larry.
Krueger!
Larry.
Krueger!
All right. Let's hear it one more time. Come on. All right. Larry. Larry. All right. Hey, Larry. Let's go Giants.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My eyes are watering. Oh my God. That is too funny. Just people just drinking, feeling good. See what happens when you score some goddamn runs? Do you see the vibe? My God, I hope the Giants owners were watching this. You score runs, people have fun. They'll chant anybody's name if they score runs.
I got another one.
We got to make it. You know what we got to do? You got to next time you're out there, you got to be like, you got to start a Pasquale cheer somehow, and just start chanting sausage. I mean, how epic would it be? It would be hilarious. You know, it'd be a really funny bit if we find out Danny's going to the game, and then we give you, Rye gives you one, I give you one, and we see if you. It's almost like those four guys from New York. What's that called on True TV?
Oh, Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers. See if Danny can get people in the bleachers to chant anything. Just anything at all. Pasquale, you know. Oh my God, that is epic. Romo 2001, Danny taking advantage of drunkards. Oh my God, that is awesome. Romo 2001, squally. I mean, it would be so incredible to then take that back to the New York style Italian sausage people and be like, hey man, there's a buzz on the street. You don't believe me? Check out this video.
And replace the Coca-Cola bottle with a sausage.
Yeah, the Coke, it's the same shape, but it's a gigantic sausage. Oh my God, that is funny. That is funny. Have a we got this one. Where does it say? Nick J, sausage section in the bleachers. Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. Graves says that's funny. Joe on that show had a bit yelling Larry. Oh my God.
We have to like incorporate one of those into like the intro to our show. Like,
oh, that would be so. Dusty says, how about foam sausages instead of a foam finger?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, that is epic. That is epic. You are a true stadium performer, my friend.
Wait, we should run through his other three highlights because there was highlights in the game too.
Oh yeah, let's hear it. Let's get to the good stuff. I mean, if that wasn't the good stuff, I mean that is just that is awesome. This might be one of my favorite live streams. I'm gonna have to save this one. I can't wait to show it to Len tomorrow. All the people associated with the show, they're just going to absolutely love Danny getting the Larry Krueger chant going. Oh my goodness!
The 4th of July was his first game against the Diamondbacks in Arizona, San Francisco, and would love to see it right here. Count is in his favor, 3-1.
This is the bottom of the first when it's 1-0.
Keuchel looks in. He throws to BR. There's a drive to right field, but right at the right field. But he falls down. He slips and falls down. And BR's going to be waved all the way around to third base. And he's going to go in with a headfirst dive. And the ball gets past him. BR doesn't see it. The ball goes into the dugout. And he's going to score. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And the Giants lead it 4-0. That's a Little League home run. It's the Little League home run version. The right fielder slipped and fell, and it got by him and went all the way to the wall. That's McCarthy, I believe, in right field. He just lost it, maybe in the sun.
Maybe.
Did you say maybe, or did you drop a baby in there?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
You know what's disturbing is that I told my dad.
Somebody says, sorry, Flem, you're out. Could you imagine the Giants? Hey, Flem, you're doing too many NC college football games, NC2A for college football games. We're going to go with the new guy. He's a little younger. His name's Dan Coccimilgio. We're bringing him in.
Yeah.
And he just starts
He's a man of the people.
incredible. He's out in the bleachers.
I did another phlegm tonight on
the
Mercedes home run. My voice cracked.
I think you did
Do
too.
we have it? Do we have it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So this is disturbing to me. I spent the whole day with Dan yesterday, and then immediately went into the post game. This is scary. So once that happened, those were the first two things I said. I said, the Little League home run. The Little League home run. And then you said the exact same thing. And then I won't step on it, but I sent what Danny said for this next call. And then Danny sent the video, and he had done the same call. He did the same thing. So I'm getting a little disturbed. Our brains are melting.
Are you the same person?
Later on first. 2 for 2 for the ball game, and
Here.
5. Late arriving crowd, and pretty quiet here early tonight until the Giants put up 4 runs in the bottom of the first. And the crowd's coming alive now, especially after that Joey Bart monster shot. Three balls, 1 strike. Big hitters count for Mercedes here. Slater gets his lead off first. Mercedes looking for a pitch to drive.
Slater goes, and there's a drive to left field. Shot down the left field line. It is gone. Oh my goodness, that thing got out of here quick. That was a laser shot down the left field line. And Hermine Mercedes gets his first home run as a San Francisco Giant.
Oh.
I think that was like 114 off the bat, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
That was the fastest of the year for any Giants player. And also, wait, did you hear? I took his. You were.
He was going to go monster. He was going monster.
I was going to go monster. Yeah.
And then you pivoted into a my goodness. You said laser shot, and that's exactly what I said in the group message. I said laser shot.
Oh,
also,
that is epic.
The Dan right before you called it. You're like, and he's looking for a pitch to hit, and he's gonna hit, and then you started going crazy with the Slater steal, and then your voice. Can I just play one more time? Because I just want to.
3 balls, 1 strike. Big hitters count for Mercedes here. Slater gets his lead off first. Mercedes looking for a pitch to drive.
Slater goes, and there's a drive to left field. Shot down the left field line. It is gone. Oh my goodness, that thing got out of here quick. That was a laser shot down the left field line. And Hermine Mercedes gets his first home run as a San Francisco Giant.
Is anybody looking at you when you're making this call? Like, are you on the air, or are you talking into a phone? I wish we could see you.
Yeah, I'm just talking into my phone. There was a lady 2 rows in front of me. She's kind of turning around and looking.
Is your wife just doing one of these?
Yeah, she's kind of just like, she's pretty quiet.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
She's like, he's not with me. Oh my God, that is all. Here we go. Calba says Danny is a rising star. Oh my God. How could you disagree? Creamsicle Magic, Tony D weighing in. Rebel 444, the Yerminator. Yermine Mercedes. How about that? Hitting one out tonight.
The lineup is interesting. I mean, I don't have a problem.
Mears says everybody thinks Danny's all coked out. Great. Let's turn this into a drug addiction, a terrible drug addiction.
Dan, I've got one more, and it's the one where your voice actually really Fleminged, and it was and it's hilarious because it Fleminged on you after already missing the Bart home run, doing the call, and then that call after knowing it was a home run.
That was a my goodness shot.
I missed it. On the
4th of July was his first game.
Oh, that's the wrong one. What am I doing?
Oh, that's
idiot.
Oh, that's epic.
That's hilarious.
What?
So, yeah, I've been kind of on the Giants lineup with Wins as a DH, and I don't mind the rest of the lineup, but I'm just thinking, he's got a 258 lifetime on base percentage, and Belt's 358. My point is if you're living by numbers and analytics, then why don't you just go with the analytics? I mean, why do you have to go just because he's right-handed and you're facing a lefty? I mean, the one hit, ironically, hit.
Can I be the guy on the other line tonight? Hey man, they scored 13 runs.
Yeah, and Wins
like that. The end justifies the means.
Yeah, exactly. But the one hit Wins got was against a right-handed pitcher too. By the way,
Matthew Mears. Danny's voice is shot.
Yeah, it is tonight. Yeah.
Are you? I mean, those were epic calls. Incredible work. Did you and the missus get a little ice cream for tonight, or are you going without?
Yeah, we had it actually before the game. We went to the yogurt shack. Yeah, we
there
had
you
it
go.
just before the game. Yeah. So then I got
Romo 2001. Dan's voice sounds fatigued. Are you a little beat up right now, Danny?
Yeah, I guess it kind of got a little bit when I started yelling there a little bit. I guess went out to left field. I was pretty good up until then, but that was kind of fun out there. I kind of wouldn't mind sitting and watching a game out there. It'd be fun.
Nick Martinez says I would go to 15 games a year because of the easy of the parking on the pier and how you can get in and out. Now you've got to park on the north side of the park. That's an extra 30 minutes.
Just if you're coming from the East Bay or like myself,
it is hard to get across that Lefty O'Doul bridge if you park like in lot A. It's only 2-lane road in and out.
Right. But if you come over if you take Harrison Street off of the Bay Bridge and then just kind of follow that down to Main Street, and then you can go down and you just park. I park at Red Java House right there and I walk. It's about 3/4 of a mile, but it's $30. It's safer parking because they kind of monitor it, and it's easy access. Right. I'm on the bridge in 3 minutes once I leave the Red Java, so pretty easy.
Matthew Mears says, Danny, gargle some salt water. That helps. Let me grab the box score off the printer. I'll be right back. But unbelievable effort. That was spectacular, man. Unbelievable. I'll be right back.
Later on first.
You still trying to find Bart? The Bart homer that I missed? What'd you think of it was pretty wild, the first pitch of the game. I mean, the guy I bet I had three bets tonight, and I bet the no score at all in the first inning. So the first pitch of the game, I'm like, oh crap, that thing's got a shot. The first pitch, and I'm already the Diamondbacks going to score, and then Slater makes the great catch against the wall. And then the Giants come up in the first, and I'm like, then Slater hits the first pitch for a double, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, he'll probably get stranded at second. That's typical Giants, And I'm thinking, well, if they score, that's all right. I lose. But
wow. I'm sorry. I thought I was talking. Romo just told me I was muted. I muted myself so I could listen to him and find the right one.
Oh, okay.
But no, I'm back. Yeah, that's crazy. Of course, you bet the first inning under. It was funny that tweet that you put out about the Austin Wins, and somebody underneath it, jokingly, it was like, "Watch, they're going to score 12 runs."
Yeah, I know. They get 13.
I was really hoping it would stick.
I know. I thought if they win 12-0, I'm going to be just like. And then I'm listening to the radio on the way home. I'm listening to John Miller, and I'm like, "Why is Gonzalez trying to throw 89-mile-an-hour heaters?
No.
Don't mess up your arm, man." And
yeah, they had Kapler. Kapler went out on the mound.
Yeah.
And
Kapler should have told him in the beginning, "Hey, look,
yeah,
you're out there. Don't attempt to throw a fastball. Just lob it." I mean, for Kapler to go out there and have to tells you he wasn't communicating with him prior. And I didn't even before Kapler went out there, I was thinking, why do you got to put one of your best players to pitch? Put a scrub out there. That's what you save, I mean, a guy like La Stella to go out there and throw if he was not on the IL somebody that's, not as valuable as Gonzalez.
Absolutely. Here, Larry, we got the monster slam, and then I actually have to get up and run for a second. I'm
Okay.
really sorry, guys.
Later on first, 2 for 2 for the ball game, and
Oh, what the hell?
That's
Oh,
still
wow.
Mercedes.
Is that Joey Bart?
Yeah, that's still Mercedes.
Oh,
It's a whole
Mercedes.
different clip. Yeah, it was. I did the Bart home run after he hit it. He was rounding the bases. I was like a little bit too slow. I saw the whole thing. I said, "Man, that thing's hit." That was definitely a monster shot by Bart.
Now, Danny, you've been to a number of Giants games in the last, let's say, just this season. How many games have you been to, home and road, would you say, for the year?
About 9 or 10.
How would you compare like a night like tonight where they score 13 runs, there's all kinds of action, to, your typical, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 Giant loss where there's hardly any offense as far as the vibe in the yard? I mean, wouldn't you say that it's a totally different feeling when the ball's jumping and runs are being scored and people are getting out of their seats? Because think about it. Every time something good happens at a baseball game, what do? You stand up, you cheer. The people around you stand up and cheer. Sometimes you're high-fiving your neighbor. A lot of times people are rejoicing. It's just a different vibe when you're scoring runs. And look how much fun those people were having out in the bleachers. And it's like, heck, why? Because you go to the game, you want to stand up, you want to high-five your buddy, that one guy's flexing, and it's like, you know what? You want to have a good time. How do you have a good time when there's 3 hits and 19 ground outs and 1 run? You know what I mean? How would you compare the vibe in the stadium, whether it be home or road, when the Giants are scoring runs as opposed to 1 or 2?
Yeah, it's a totally different vibe. People are excited. They're talking. They're jumping up and down, like you say. They're high-fiving. I've been at the Giants, the 3-1 win in San Diego. I was there. I was also at the night before when they lost. And then I was at last night's game, which was, kind of boring until the 8th inning when they started to get a couple runs. But, I've been to many games where they've just been dead. And this has, I don't know what's totally going on with the club itself, but it definitely has a feel of, when they're scoring runs, it's much better. But I'm telling you, there's something that's not jiving with me with this ball club right now. And I don't know what it is, but they're not drawing very well for a team that came off of 107 wins. They didn't seem to get the lift that you think they would have. They won the division.
Is that you think that's pandemic related?
No, I think it's.
Is it economy related?
It could be economy related.
I'll say this, Danny. There's not near the traffic driving into the city that there was pre-pandemic. Yeah. I just think there's a lot of people working virtually. The downtown ballpark was a great concept, and it really is a great concept because there's people that live on the peninsula, Marin, East Bay, North Bay, and if they work in the city, going to a game becomes like a real easy thing. Hey, I got extra tickets. You want to go? Oh yeah, what the heck? Let's go. We're already in the city. But when you have so many people working virtually, I just think it's like, do I want to make the effort and the toll and the gas and the parking and and will my car get broken into and will I find out, it's just, it's on TV and it's money's tight and it's just, you know what I mean? I just think there's a myriad of reasons, but they're all kind of like, it's just, I don't think the Giants have lost any of their fan base. I just think that there's a lot more people who are just like kind of disconnected from downtown San Francisco and coming down there, and that's hurting their attendance.
Yeah, I think if the Giants are listening, they should do something for the fans during midweek. You don't draw Monday and Tuesday nights or a Wednesday night games. You're not drawing. If it's a Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, it'll be a much better crowd. Like I'll be out there tomorrow afternoon, and I expect it to be a better crowd because two things. One, in the summer in San Francisco, it's freezing cold. I mean, it is cold out there right now. And I'm used to Arizona.
You're coming from Arizona too.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even bring a pair of jeans with me. I'm just wearing shorts, and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm fine. But
you're wearing shorts?
Yeah, I'm wearing shorts.
You went to the game in shorts tonight?
Yeah. I didn't bring any jeans with me from Arizona. I mean, I'm just like, I'll wear shorts all the time anyway. I can handle the cold on my legs. I just don't. I can put sweatshirts on and all that, but it's the problem is the Giants have to do something to attract people during the midweek. I remember I think it was the A's. They used to do a half price night, Monday night or whatever it was. I mean, pizza places do it. It's like, hey, half price pizza Monday nights because they know it's a slow night. Bring more fans out. You know what?
Except for it is pretty much half price at this point. Like it's just
with the dynamic pricing.
It's not coming out of their pockets. It's just coming out of the season ticket holders reselling.
Oh yeah, the season tickets. Yeah. But I mean, but for walk up traffic, I don't know. It's just like, to me, they need to do something. But
I'll tell you what, the Giants. I'm, and this is not at all. No one clip this or send this to anyone affiliated with the Giants, but I feel like they screwed up not just like bringing on the Krueg show, man. If they had Danny, could you imagine how much fun Type could have had with Danny running around the yard, just being an animal and just like, I mean, come on, that's what it's all about.
Seriously, if you can get them chanting Larry Krueger, you can get them chanting Your Mean Mercedes. You could get them chanting anything. I mean, you seriously could get a VR, and I mean, you could get anybody doing anything at that point. That would be fun on the broadcast if there was a guy that started cheers in the stands. I mean, that we all could have fun with. I mean, that would be funny.
A camera on Dan at all times. You're not quite sure what's happening, but every once in a while they check back in, see what he's up to.
A bleachers version of Amy G. Danny's asking people to start chanting. Oh, it'd be awesome.
Okay, here's the Fleming.
A bomb! An absolute monster shot by Joey Bart! Shot by Joey Bart!
My voice cracked. I think I showed up on the board. Yeah. That was a nice swing.
Joey Bart looks like he's kind of figuring it out a little bit, huh?
Yeah, that was a nice, easy swing.
That guy's got such power. I'd be deathly afraid to trade Joey Bart. Wouldn't you guys? Because Joey Bart has got 40 homer power. He's got top of the scale power, man. I mean, this guy might be able to hit the glove if he tied into it right.
He's a big dude.
He is a big man with a lot of bat speed and a lot of power in those legs. And man, when he turns on it, I mean, there's some no doubters about it. So, kind of reminds me when I watch Joey Bart of a young Matt Williams in that. Matty, when he came up in the late 80s, he would just hit some titanic shots, but then he'd miss the next 3 at bats. He'd miss pitches by 2.5 feet, and he'd be farmed out. But eventually, he figured it out. And if it wasn't for the 94 strike, who knows? Maybe he hits 63, 64 home runs and is the home run record, single season home run record holder for a while there. It could have happened in the 94 season with the way Williams was going. So that's what makes the, people say trade Joey Bart. And I get it because you're like frustrated with the Giants and he was a first round pick, second pick in the draft, and he's not producing. And what do you do? And, you got to have a catcher. And believe me, I've thought about it many times too, but man, he would be the guy that I would fear trading because if he ever gets it right and hits 250, it might be 250 with 50 bombs.
Yeah, the Warriors, we're all excited because they have the Wiseman, the Kuminga, the Poole, and the Moody, and we're kind of excited about that foursome. The Giants were kind of like, I guess we've got Bart right now and VR and Gonzalez. Maybe they give us a little hope. Maybe Ramos.
Yeah, if you put those three and you throw in Webb and Duvall, that's not the worst.
And then you got
and a little bit of Estrada.
Estrada. I like Estrada. I really do. And then of course
he had a home run the other day. He hit another one tonight.
Yeah.
At what point do we start? Does this mean maybe
DFA La Stella? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I mean, I would be down. I'd way rather do that. But if they don't do that, I mean, is this going to become a platoon position?
Oh, shortstop.
I mean, seriously, like Craw is not. His defense is below his normal standard, and his hitting has been below his normal standard, and his $10 speed is not
donation.
Calba has donated $10. He says, "What's more likely to happen next? Trade Rodon for a top prospect, or trade for a Joey Gallo?"
That's a good question.
They're not trading Rodon. They're not trading away. They're not selling. The Giants do not sell. They really don't. They would have to free fall right into the break and free fall right out of the break. Farhan talked to the media today. You guys want to know what he said?
Yeah, I was starting to listen to that night.
Yeah, he met with reporters. He said that the first half has obviously been disappointing, but pointed out several times that the Giants are only 2 out of a wild card spot coming into tonight. Said the Giants could look to add if they play better baseball, but there's been absolutely zero internal talk of them selling at the deadline. He then also said that the Giants don't anticipate adding starting pitching with Jacob Junis due back after the break. He also said the Giants have not ruled out promoting Kyle Harrison to AAA from AA in the second half if he keeps pitching the way he has. So
yeah, I believe Harrison's on the fast track.
Yeah, Harrison's clearly on the fast track. And, Farhan is smart as far as he'd rather under promise and over deliver, right? So, he says that, they could look to add if they play better. I think they're going to try to do something to add. That'd be my guess. With the extra wild card spot, don't you think that makes the most sense? I mean, I like the idea of selling a veteran player or two if you had a valuable guy for a key piece. I saw the Braves today traded Drew Waters, who's one of their top young prospects, for a sandwich pick in the upcoming draft.
Yeah, the 35th pick.
Yeah, the competitive balance, because I guess you can trade the competitive balance picks for the first time ever. And They traded an outfield prospect who was considered one of their best in Drew Waters. If you could get, some young position player who you thought could impact your situation a little bit at some point in the next year, I'd be all for that. But I just don't see them. They're not the kind of team that wants to wave the white flag and give up. They pride themselves on the minuscule number of meaningless games that they've played since they've opened this ballpark, and really going back to the last decade at Candlestick. And so if they can hang in the race all the way to the end, and I don't see any reason why they probably can't, they probably aren't going to excel. But I don't see them, giving a bunch of prospects for additions either. It would have to be like, minor additions, low cost additions, waiver wire, DFA pickups. It's going to be stuff on the margins, I would think, with the Giants. Don't you guys? I don't see them being active as a seller. I don't see them being active as a buyer. I think they will be active. But as I said, it's going to be on the margins, and they won't pay a lot.
I don't think they'll go like they did last year and to get a Chris Bryant, simply because last year they were guaranteed of being at least the wild card. It wasn't like they were either going to win the division or going to be the wild card and have to play in that one game. This year, there's no guarantee that they make it. They got to get by two teams currently, Philadelphia and St. Louis. So that tells me that, like you said, they're probably going to do some fringe stuff, maybe utility type guys, probably try and shore up the bullpen with an arm or two, because that's really been their weak link right now is the bullpen is really the bullpen. I mean, as bad as their hitting has been, if you really look at it and break it down, it's their bullpen and their defense that's let them down the most.
You know what, Dan, to backing that up, I saw a weird or kind of a crazy stat. I was listening to a national Major League Baseball podcast. Sometimes, it's fun to hear the national perspective on the Giants. Right. And they brought out a stat I haven't heard yet that I guess the Giants have been leading for a while now, have been leading the Major League in FIP. I don't know if you guys put much stock into FIP, but it's like fielder independent pitching.
I guide my life by it.
Yeah, exactly. I can't say I was against the name before. I may have looked up the definition, but yeah, apparently it's all the rage, and essentially it takes defense out, and it's just only things that pitchers can control, and we're leading in FIP. So
is that a bad thing?
No. It's bad because it just means that our pitching is essentially
what's XFIP then?
It sounds pretty bad. I don't want to catch it. Is it FIP?
I think you sound like you may have a little touch of the FIP right now.
A little bit of touch.
A little touch of the FIP.
A little. FIP.
There's also the XFIP, which I'm not really sure what that means.
That when we get into the X's and the R's and the I don't want to.
The RC Razor and all these different things. It's like, you freaking dork. You know what I mean? If anybody ever calls the show and is like, yeah, their X BABIP is, they're 14th and X BABIP, that's when you're just like, bro,
like these people like on Twitter, some of these guys, I wonder if I have any comments from my my tweet earlier here. Cause one guy was giving it to me. So, what happened was some guy
Carlos says FIP or die.
Yeah. So I posted tonight, I tweeted, Gabe's at it again. The platoon show continues. And I wanted to say the S
Is this
show,
pregame? I may have retweeted you.
Yeah, you did. And I said,
see, that's why you got so many people throwing hate your way.
The platoon show continues as they have the great Austin Wins as DH tonight. I guess that's better than a hot Brandon Belt 6 for last 7, or going with your best defense with B. Craw at shortstop and Estrada at second base and Flores at DH.
I liked it. I thought it was salty. I thought it was properly salty.
Platoon at all costs. And then some guy tweeted back to me and says something like, I think they know a lot more than.
No, that's the most tired.
Yeah.
You think you know more than far on?
Oh, here's what it says.
Thanks for coming. Nice take.
This guy says, Eric, seems to be working. It's almost like Zaidi, Kapler, and the entire staff know more about what they're doing than you. And I retweeted, I wish they did. They'd have 5 more wins at least. And then when Bart was Wins was batting before Bart, so I filmed Wins and he struck out. And so I even in the video I said, there you go, Eric, and I tweeted it back to him as my reply, and then Bart hit the home run. So
Danny is now the KD of YouTube Bay Area sports Twitter.
Yeah, KD.
Seriously. Nick Martinez, I caught the FIP once. Thank God for penicillin. Have you seen Bob? He's got the FIP. Oh my God, he's got the FIP. Oh my God.
I also
that would be hilarious too, Danny, if you were out in the bleachers chanting like, XR Razor, just some ridiculous stat. You know what? BABIP, come on, let's go BABIP. Just see if how many people just chant anything. By the way, this report, I saw this tonight. The Dodgers have had preliminary trade talks with the Reds about Luis Castillo.
Yeah, of course.
Dodgers are one of many teams interested, but they got a deep farm system. If LA adds Luis Castillo to their rotation, man, that's exactly what they need. That's exactly what they need.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
that won't be good.
No, I mean the Dodgers are like the Warriors of
Did you guys watch any Warriors Celtics tonight?
I did.
What did you think of the big man? Did the big man rebound at all, Wiseman? Did he rebound? He had 2 rebounds the other night.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the summer league though, when you're watching it, it's just the game is not built for big guys. I kind of feel bad for him. Like it's
no, totally. It's an open floor game. It's a fast break game.
Yeah, here, Kuminga, you're allowed to do stuff you'll never be able to do on the actual Warriors team. You can handle the ball and play make and commit all these turnovers, and it doesn't matter. And you can chuck threes, and it's awesome, and he looks great at it. But Wiseman is like, hey, man, like, come on. Hey, maybe send a couple balls my way. I kind of want to get some shots up. And, yeah, I just don't think it's spacing was weird. I don't know. But I will say my only concern with Wiseman, not that he's going to be a player. He totally is. He's freaking massive. It's just there's something like a little weird because, like, he's athletic and fluid, yet there's something a little like – I don't know. Like it's almost like his lateral movement isn't quite there, and he moves a little bit like a big man, despite like, but he's like smooth in his movements. I don't know. I can't really describe it.
He doesn't naturally go after rebounds. It's like if it comes right to him, and also I've seen him drop off a lot of balls and like little bounce passes and entry passes. It's like I wonder about the hands. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, I don't know if you guys listened to Damon and Rado in the afternoon.
I was listening to them on the way in today. To the
well, they had Tom Haberstroh on today. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. And, Haberstroh is talking James Wiseman with Damon and Rado. Oh, yeah. And this is the quote from Haberstroh. He's pretty knowledgeable. He says, hopefully that potential, he's talking about James Wiseman, hopefully that potential becomes realized next year. I think the best case scenario is that he shows out in the first half of the season and they flip him for a guy who can help them win another championship with Steph Curry. I'm like, what? Am I missing something here? I mean, the Warriors had Looney at center. He was fine, but Robert Williams sure did a lot of damage. And I felt like Boston had an advantage inside anytime they wanted it. You telling me that a 7'1", nearly 260-pound rim runner, shot blocker, what is he, 22, 23? You're telling me that a guy like that, you got to defend the three-point line with Steph and Clay and Poole and Wiggins. And then with a guy like Wiseman, you have to defend the lob. So you got to defend the rim. I mean, if they really want to play pace and space, isn't a 7'1" center who can rim run and block shots, and couldn't you win a title with him? Why is everybody in such a mad rush to hawk the kid? Why does everybody want to trade James Wiseman? I mean, Haberstroh is a pretty knowledgeable guy, so hopefully he has a good first half so they can trade him for somebody who can help them win a title. I mean, you don't think James Wiseman can help them win a title? It seems like he's exactly what they didn't have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me because it's like, oh, what are you going to trade him for? Like, if you're going to
trade him for, what are you looking to get that you don't have?
Him? Trade him for an all-star? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have the cap room. They're holding a meeting in Vegas right now about the Warriors payroll differential compared to the rest of the league, and
They're following the CBA rules the way it was said.
Yeah, so I listened to Zach Lowe and Bobby Marks talk about it because Bobby Marks is so damn good on the cap. The cap, and they were both unanimously like, look, Golden State did nothing wrong. Like there should be nothing that hurts them. I can see why like the league could be pissed, mad at Brooklyn or even the Clippers, who have the second highest payroll of all time now.
The problem is the Warriors, all as they did is draft Steph, Clay, and Draymond and kept them all together.
Yeah.
And they
traded for Wiggins, who was a distressed asset, and turned.
Would you trade Wiseman for Durant, as I Love the Dodgers suggest here?
Straight up?
It wouldn't work. But let's just say you could get him. You could trade Wiggins and Wiseman.
I would do
that.
You would trade Wiggins and Wiseman for 33-year-old Durant? I don't think I would. I definitely would not.
I would do that because you're probably going to win the next 2 championships, and you're not depleting your depth with Kuminga and Moody and Poole. Now, if you start throwing,
but then what happens at the end of the 2 championships? You're going to have some lean years because you're going to. I don't think Joe wants lean years. That arena is so damn expensive. I don't think
If I
Katie's
was
only
They can
Lego,
afford lean years.
if I was
Katie's
Lego,
only got like 3 or 4 years left on his deal, and
He's got 4 years left to be 33. Do you want him at 33 to 37?
I mean,
You know
that's what Steph's going to be. Steph's going to be 36.
yeah,
I know that's
you know what
the
I
thing. Do
do.
you want that? Do you want more guys in that window?
This wouldn't be popular,
If we'd
but at the end of the 2 years, and if you had KD and you still had him for 2 more years and Curry for 2 more years, and now you're like really stuck when it comes to with Clay and Green with their contracts, you wouldn't be able to keep them. I would say, look, we want to keep you guys. We want you to be here for Warriors for life, but we understand if you want to continue to move on and make money, but we can't keep you unless you guys are willing to stay for the league minimum. You know, I'll make you employees for life when you retire. I don't know if they talk like that and they can do that, but that's what I would be doing if I was the owners. Like, look, I can only give you the veteran minimum, but you retire here, you'll be a Warrior for life.
When you're a basketball player making the kind of money they're making, the idea of being employee for life sounds almost like a prison sentence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, employee.
I'll make you an employee for life. What? I got $100 million in the bank. I don't want to be an employee for a minute, let alone life.
True, that's true.
I'd be worried, honestly, Dan. Even if they did
part owner, maybe make them owners.
Maybe owner.
Even if they did nothing nefarious and they got those guys to take contracts like that, they would get investigated. Like they investigated the Nets for Andrei Kirilenko like 6 times because he turned down like $15 million to go, play for a Russian owner. And everyone was like, that's not okay. I think that there may be some foul play afoot. There may be some money being handed out.
Why can't they chance to, if they can't sign him, obviously, because of the caps that the league has?
Yeah, then we're going too far down into a hypothetical off a hythetical off a hypothetical.
But why couldn't you become a vet minimum for the last year or 2 of your career?
Could.
And then they could.
Nobody does, but yeah, you could.
And then
Also,
they could
cap's
become.
gonna jump. It's going to jump like crazy.
And why couldn't say, I'm going to reward these lifelong players with ownership when they retire? Employees do that all the time.
Because rich people like winning, but even more than they like winning, they like money.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's not giving up his investments to players.
I'm talking about a 1%. Hey, you own 1% of the franchise.
1%,
Yeah.
like.
That's a ton, though. That's a ton. Yeah. By the way, our good friend Jaguayo56 is in the chat donating $2. Jaguayo, thank you very much, sir.
Jaguayo.
He says Wiseman just needs some experience.
That's exactly it.
I agree with Jaguayo.
Yeah, he does.
And the Warriors might, honestly, they might need to alter their offense a little bit for him. When he's out there, a little bit more pick and rolls. Yes, a lot.
Here's the other thing the Warriors are really, really going to need is they're going to need guys to fill up minutes during the regular season. You can't burn out Green, Curry, and Thompson and play those guys 33, 35 minutes a night. You want to keep them at about averaging 30, 31 minutes a night. You don't want to be
deep, though. They're a pretty deep team. I mean, all
they
these
don't
guys
have a full roster. Yeah, they have 10 guys. But
I like some of the guys I've seen in the summer league. I like Weatherspoon. I think he's good.
Yeah,
I kind of like Mac McClung
what do you think of McClung?
I like him. I mean, first of all, he had 64 in a high school game. He was known in high school as a guy who had unbelievable vert and would just throw down these crazy jams. Then he went to Georgetown as a freshman. He had 38. He had 38 in a game as a freshman. He was a all Big East performer, I believe, or honorable mention, I believe, as a freshman. Then he transferred to Texas Tech. He's a scorer. He's a scorer, and he's quick, and he's competitive as hell. He comes from a family of athletes. His mom, his dad, his uncle, his sister, they're all athletes if you go research it.
Yeah, he has some good moves.
Yeah, he does. And he's competitive as hell. They say he's just a really, really great competitor. He might be a decent guy, I mean, as far as just effort and energy and, might be, I mean, we're talking about the 14th, 15th guy in the roster, maybe a guy with a 2-way contract, but, I could see McClung being like the 2-way Chioza type guy for them this year. I think I could see that.
Yeah,
he's good so far.
He's an NBA player. When you watch,
I didn't see tonight. Was he good tonight?
He regressed a little bit. He's definitely an NBA player. I mean, he won G League MVP last year.
Yeah, he was the MVP of the G League. Not only that, I think he played well for the Bulls when he went there.
Yeah. And it's the rap on him was, a little too small, not long enough, not good enough on defense, and not a good enough playmaker, and not a good enough shooter to make up for all that.
Who's his comp?
I'm trying to think of a comp. But so essentially, but at this point, he's clearly, you can watch, he has completely changed his playmaking. He now has vision, and it looks like.
He reminds me of John Barry. He reminds me a little bit of John Barry.
The problem is just the defense. The defense, I don't know if his offense would be enough to, just on the Warriors specifically, because they already have Steph and Poole and those guys. So, but I totally agree. Yeah, he's looked great.
You never know. You never know. Maybe, on the bench spots, you're looking to save money typically anyway. So, maybe he fits because of the budget. I mean, I'm looking at Golden State right now. We were talking about this on the show today. So you got Curry and Poole at the 1. You also have Ryan Rollins and Mac McClung possibly. And then you got Clay and DiVincenzo. So that's a pretty good backcourt right there. And then at the 3, it's Wiggins, Kuminga, Moody. So you're stacked at the 3. The 4 is Draymond and Patrick Baldwin. The 5 is Wiseman and Looney. Really, they lost Otto Porter and Bielitsa. If you look at Golden State, they're probably like, one power forward center who can shoot, from the perimeter away from a full roster there. They get that piece, maybe one veteran like that. I was suggesting Carmelo Anthony. Because I mean, he's 8th on the scoring list. Could you imagine if they had Carmelo and they were in Boston, let's say next year in the finals, and the crowd's going crazy? Carmelo's an all-time NBA great. He's 8th on the scoring list. He's not gonna cower Boston on the road in a hostile situation. He's going to embrace that situation. He's got ice water in his veins at this point. He's played everywhere, and he's been dead, and he's been reborn. I like what I saw from him from the Lakers last year. I think he shot like 38% from 3. The year before with Portland, he was really good. I could see him on Golden State playing kind of like a stretch 4, and just his presence as just a sniper. I mean, think about it on this team with Wiggins and Thompson and Curry and Poole and Moody. You got a lot of guys who can shoot it. If you had a guy like Carmelo, he's going to get some open looks, open mid-range looks, open 3-point looks. And I don't think he'll shrink in big moments. I like the idea of Anthony. If you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, Anthony doesn't fit their culture. But they've changed. He's changed. I think he's kind of embraced his late in career role. I think he'd be a perfect fit. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. I'm looking through the chat and I see a lot of Rodon discussion about the trade and stuff. One of the things, by the way, he did get added to the All-Star game today.
I saw that. He'll make his wife happy. You saw his wife was really unhappy.
Josh Hader, I think, had some kind of death in the family or something, is unable to make it. So, kind of a sad way for him to not be able to play. But, Rodon gets rewarded as he should have been named to the original list. But one of the things that a good point is brought up here in the chat, Kalba. How do I pronounce that? Kamiga? I'm going to call him Kalba Kaminga. No, I won't do it to you. The problem, 10:39 is the time if you want to post it. The problem with Rodon is if he finishes strong, he's gone after this year. If we don't deal Rodon before the deadline, you run the risk of his arm falling apart, which usually happens, which makes a lot of sense because Boros is his agent. So if you don't sign him, he's definitely going back on the market. And, he's their best trade prospect probably at this point. You could probably get somebody's number 1 prospect for him because
he's a difference-making starter.
Yeah. And I'm almost I mean,
I'd be in favor of that. If it came to a vote, hey, would you rather add something and try to squeeze into that wild card, or would you rather trade Rodon for some team's number one prospect? I'm trading Rodon for some team's number one prospect.
Yeah, I mean, and somebody's ready to play next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
I mean,
they're not. Ask yourself this: if the Giants got into the playoffs, do you believe that the Giant team that you've seen, and tonight was a great night for the Giants, but do you think that this team could win the World Series? Danny?
I mean, everything. Technically, it's possible.
Anything's possible, as they say in the playoffs. I mean, the thing is, I guess
this is the equation. Like, what do you think is likelier? Like the Giants winning the World Series, or the Giants trading Rodon for someone that not only pans out to be a decent player, but also like goes on to be, like a long time part of this Giants team. Maybe.
Well, that's on their scouting department. I mean, they've got to they got to make the right call. You
trust their scouting department to make the right call, though.
I mean, it's Farhan. It's I mean, they've made some good evaluations.
Here's what you have to overall look at. You have to look at the entire situation and say, okay, if we get into the playoffs, is Rodon going to be healthy enough at that point with a full season of pitching, which he hasn't shown?
We could get him to opt in if he's feeling a little banged up.
Well, next year. And the second thing is you have to say, okay, if he is healthy and we get to the playoffs, do we have the horses to get us through 3 rounds just in the National League and then a World Series?
They would have to have some, not to interrupt you, but they would have to have something major change their equation. Like
exactly,
Kyle Harrison would have to come up and show that he's like one of the best young pitchers in baseball right away. And all of a sudden they've got Webb and Rodon and Harrison. And then now they're super scary. Now we've seen that. K-Rod 2002, he came up with the Angels. They already had Troy Percival. And then all of a sudden they had K-Rod. So now you had this 9th inning badass, but now you've got an 8th inning guy as well. And so that made the Angels really dangerous team. And obviously they rode it to their first World Series. It was really their lineup that kind of drove the thing, but I think it was K-Rod that gave them that shutdown reliever going into.
So I think the Giants would need to have some other additions if they're going to keep Rodon. 2 things happen. If you keep Rodon, you're telling your club we're going for it, because you're going to lose him. If he stays this year, he's going to opt out. You're going to lose him. So you're telling the club, we believe we're going to win it. We're going for it all. But if you do nothing else to make the club better, it doesn't add up that you're going for it, because the way they're constructed now, they don't have enough bullpen arms. They don't have enough right-handed bats. So, there's that. So
it's such a weird thing, because the Braves won the World Series last year, and look at the deals that they made in July.
4 deals. They got Duvall.
They added Eddie
Rosario, and Soler.
That's a ton of bats, and they took off.
Yeah,
and they wouldn't have won without those trades.
And we were talking about this the other day, and I'm saying, why can't the Giants go do that? I don't know how much the Braves gave up. I'd have to look at that and see what kind of prospects they gave up.
How about this one? I love the Dodgers. Says the Dodgers called the Giants. I heard about Rodon. You can't trade with the Dodgers.
I think this guy just loves the Dodgers.
Well, yeah. What gives you the idea? Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I guess here's the thing. If I was crossing the bridge to move Rodon, it's more about what I'm getting than where he's going. I mean, I wouldn't want to move him to the Dodgers, but who's the Dodgers' number 1 prospect right now?
But it also would be pretty. I mean, they traded their number 1 and 2 last year at the deadline, so it can't be that good. But also, but it would be fun to maybe take 2 or 3 of their prospects, and if they ended up becoming like longtime guys, then be like,
Well, this is how the Giants should build. Why? Because you can't get free agent hitters to sign here, but you can get pitchers to sign here. Why? Because they feel like if they sign here, they'll have a good year and they'll get back into the free agent market and make more money. So that part of their equation has got to be sign pitching, draft hitting. But also part of that equation has got to be when you don't really have an opportunity to win it, you got to trade that pitching, which is so incredibly valuable, and find a top tier position player prospect who's a year away. Because you're having a hard time developing that player. You're having a hard time attracting that player in free agency. So how are you ever going to get a top tier position player in his 20s if you can't develop them and nobody will sign with you? You know, you don't win free agent bidding wars, and most of the free agents are in their 30s anyway. But if you get a big time guy in his 20s like Bryce Harper, they're not winning those bidding wars, and they're not developing that player. So where's that player coming from? It's almost incumbent on them to every year go into the free agent market, be super aggressive on the free agent pitching, bring as many of those guys here as possible, try to keep it on short-term deals. And then if you fall short if you think you're not a World Series contender, sell those guys off. Use that as a major component to building your 25-man roster for the next World Series champion you're going to have.
Somebody asked me tonight on Twitter, Danny, they said, who would you rather have as a free agent next year, Judge or Trey Turner? And I replied, I said, the Giants have the money to sign both, but they will sign neither. And I said, which is frustrating because both of those, if they went and got both those guys, it could transform their entire roster and make them an instant contender for a few years at least until their other guys come up. But I said, if you're asking me to answer your question, if I could just pick one, I'd go with Judge because of the power, the right-handed bat, and the fact that he grew up as a Giants fan. But this is what's frustrating is the Giants have the money to go sign both those guys because they have a very low payroll that they are committed to for the years ahead. But they won't do any of it. And I don't know why they won't go out. I mean, can you imagine if you had the speed and the 300 hitter of Trey Turner, and then you had the power of Aaron Judge, and then you mix that in with some of the other pieces that they have, and then you get the pitchers that want to come here because it resurrects their careers. Guys like, Kevin Gausman and Rodon's had success here. Even Cobb is, he's pitching well. He's not showing up in the win-loss, but he's, under 4 as an ERA, which is respectable. So I don't know. I just think the Giants need to do something because if they're relying on their prospects to come up and turn this organization around, that's going to be a while. I'm telling you, that's not going to happen next year. And if they come up, let's say they do come up at the end of next year or in 24, are they all going to be playing well?
Wait, Dan, 1 sec. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to be, this just shows up what a stand-up guy I am. This guy, I loves the Dodgers. I've been watching what he's saying in the chat. Hey, Krueg guy. Hey, everyone out there in the Krueg Nation. Let's be nice to this guy. This guy's been pretty nice in the chat. He doesn't seem like he's a troll. He said, I don't know. He is messing around a little bit with these trades, but he's saying, Virginia, I'm sorry you feel that way. I was just telling you what I heard and am not a troll. And then we're kind of ripping on him again. Virginia, please, I'm not hating on you guys. You guys have a decent team. Maybe condescending when I read it like that, actually. But
yeah, you said it sounds very sheepish.
107 win was impressive. I think that we don't want your pats on the head. We don't want your you guys are kind of nice over there. Screw off. Get lost. Lose the number. Go check out David Vassay.
I'll tell you, there is.
I'm just joking, but I don't love the idea of trading away Rodon or throwing in the towel, but You do have such an intriguing piece there, and he's had health problems, and you're probably right. He's either going to want a big money long-term deal, which you didn't want to pay Gausman, and guess what? You don't want to give it to him either. So you don't want to pay Rodon. So then it's like, okay, and are you in it? Well, maybe a little bit. It's hard to say if they're in it or not. But man, a guy like that, could you imagine if you could get the Yankees' top prospect or, some team's top prospect and plug that guy right in? I mean, you want to accelerate, the rebuild. Develop your own guys, but then trade a Rodon, and sign another Rodon in the offseason, trade that guy if you're not in it next year. Make a couple of those July trades and see if you can add some team's premier guy. I mean, we saw, years ago now, but, the Red Sox needed a reliever. They called the Astros. The Astros had Larry Anderson. They said, hey, we want Larry Anderson. They said, all right, give us a AA prospect in the Eastern League named Jeff Bagwell. And the Red Sox did it. And Larry Anderson was a good reliever for the Red Sox. And Bagwell went on to a incredible career with the Astros. It's time for the Giants to pick off their Bagwell. To move a Rodon and get somebody that's going to be a Giant for 10 years, somebody that people are going to buy jerseys of, somebody that people are going to invest their emotions in. And that combined with Matos and Luciano and, you name it, Hunter Bishop and all the different guys they have coming, then now you've got something, now. And you know what? Maybe instead of, we're talking about catching, they need a catcher. Do they need a catcher, or do they just need to invest the rest of the season in Joey Bart and try to get him going? Because, man, he sure looks a lot better than he did a few weeks ago. He didn't spend very much time rehabbing his swing in the minor leagues. They shut him down for a little bit.
He wouldn't have been up if not for the Casale injury.
Right. He'd still be in the minors, but he looks like a different hitter right now. Calba donates $10. He says, I think we see a Larry Bear intervention, and the Giants will make a hard push for Aaron Judge this offseason. No more conveniently finishing second for big-time free agents. The question is this. Judge is probably thinking Hall of Fame at some point. Is he going to leave New York? Is he going to leave the Bronx? He's somewhat of a folk hero, especially coming off of this year. And you're going to pay him. He's had injuries, and he's 30, and you're going to pay him at the top of the scale. So just doesn't seem like the Farhan kind of move, but I think Calba definitely frames it right.
I think so.
He has a Larry Bear intervention. Like Larry's going to say, hey, Farhan, I love all the moves you're making. I love the incremental improvement, but this team needs a star, and the ownership group wants you to make a big push for Aaron Judge. And this time we don't want to finish second. We want to finish first. We want to land the kid. He grew up a Giants fan in the Central Valley. And, if Aaron Judge, it's all about what does Aaron Judge want? Does he want to stay in pinstripes, or does he prefer to be out here on the West Coast? And if he does prefer to be out here on the West Coast, why the hell not? Why would you not go after him? Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
I'd go after him. It's just money. It's just money, and they mint money.
They have so much money. It's like, we talk about Joe Lake with the Chase Center. The Giants have the Mission Rock project that is, and the stadium's paid for, and they own it free and clear, and they are making money hand over fist with their apartments, their building. They own all that land.
They haven't called Danny because they don't need securemoney.com. Their money is quite secure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, come on, these guys.
You may call them.
They should be putting money into this ball club, and I'm a little bit worried. I'm starting to wonder. I really am. I'm starting to question, and I would like to some of the people that have the ability to talk to.
I think you're the man on the street to get those questions out there.
I want to know why.
Yeah, seriously, maybe you ought to hit the bleachers with some of these questions. Do you guys want Aaron Judge?
Yeah. Vice report. Danny goes inside, infiltrates the front office, figures out what's really going on.
It's frustrating.
Maybe a fake mustache.
And you know what it is? It's going to be a document. It's going to be a documentary, and it's
Excuse me, Mr. Bear.
Yeah, it's going to be a 6-part series called Finding Papirski. And then why
Finding Farhan.
finding Farhan.
It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Dan Coccimilgio.
I
Productions.
seriously want to know why that.
Danny's turning it a little bit to like Jay Hutch with his whispering and his.
Yeah, no, I want to know why they're not putting money into the club. Are they? Is ownership blocking Farhan, tying his hands and saying, this is your budget, 160 million. Don't go a dime over it. Or is this Farhan's way of,
Well, see, we'll never know, Danny, because they cover each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I've asked this question both ways. I asked Larry Bear, what does Farhan have enough? So you have loosened purse strings, and he maintains that Farhan has more than enough money to build a contender. When you ask Farhan, does he have enough money? He says, I have more than enough money to do whatever I want to do. So, he's not going to throw the ownership under the bus. They're not going to throw him under the bus. You're never going to get the real answer there. But I got to think that he's not voluntarily spending under the budget, is he? Or does he feel like that's a way to win favor with the ownership group? Hey, they give you a $180 million budget and you keep it at 160 and suddenly you're a hero to them?
And we split anything under the budget, we split 50-50. You've heard of the 50-50 raffle, Farhan? You got the 50-50 budget. So whatever you keep on, because they're putting money somewhere.
That'd be a sweetheart deal if you're a general manager.
Oh yeah, man.
Hey, look, I'll spend $50 million less. 25 of it comes to me. 25 of it goes to you. I'll tell everybody that I think it's the prudent thing, and you guys tell everybody it's the prudent thing. And then we can prudent our way to 25 million each.
I think Dan's just mad that he can't get in on the scheme and secure this money away.
I want that. Hey, listen to this. We were talking about I love the Dodgers making chats. There's a guy in the Facebook group, on the Giants Facebook group, and he put this shady post out. He's a pretty funny guy. He's a big Dodger fan, but he put a picture of the standings last week, and he said, put the little eyes, like this, and he says, hard to see you guys so far from this far back, and people, get off this chat, Benny. This is a Giants chat. Get out of here. And then they're ripping him about, how's your Cracker Jacks ring, from 2020, and they're throwing out 2010, 2012, all this. Get off this page. You don't belong here. And I've been reading this for years. So I finally said, I finally put out, I thought I was going to get a bunch of hate, but I haven't got much. But I said, I hate the Dodgers more than anyone. But until the Giants beat the Dodgers in the playoffs or win another World Series before they do, Benny and the Dodgers own us. They have better players, a better and deeper farm system, a better ownership group that is willing to spend money and make trades to put them in contention every year. They lead the league in attendance, while our fans don't even show up for a 107-win team. We were 8th last year in attendance. Even the Colorado Rockies drew more, and the Reds were just behind the Giants. This year, the Giants are currently 9th in attendance in the National League. Why? Because they have been a boring team with old players who are slow and injured. And before you go getting on me for saying the truth, I support the Giants with my mouth and my pocketbook as a season ticket holder. Until the Giants are willing to spend some money and develop their own players and have a group of them produce, the Dodgers will continue to own the Giants going forward. And all we have to say is 2010, 12, and 14. All we can hope for is the Dodgers to keep choking in the playoffs. But
is this a letter you wrote, or are you reading this?
He commented this.
This is my response to this. I said,
that was you. You're reading your letter that you wrote. Nick is asking here in the chat.
Then I said, but I'd much rather.
It's so long.
But it's almost done. But I said, but I'd much rather have their current success than the position of the Giants franchise. Anybody who says otherwise is not dealing in reality, but childish jealousy. It's really okay to say they're better in almost every aspect than the Giants right now. It's part of being a mature adult. You know, I used to get like years ago, I would, the Dodgers suck. Hey, the Dodgers own us. Let's just be real. I mean, yeah, we beat them in the division.
I don't like what you're. No,
Yeah, I mean that's.
now you're.
I'm muting you. That's it. Go away. I you know, that's. I've had it. Danny. I think I've heard enough. Right? Your incredible negativity is weighing down this chat. It's weighing down this channel. It's weighing down other Coccimilgios. If I got to talk to Steve, it's weighing down the yogurt shop. We're collectively feeling the weight.
You know what?
Negativity.
I'm going to cleanse everyone's palate here for a second.
And I'm unmuted. Let me just read that last line before I get muted again, Larry.
No, okay. I can't. I had to jump in. I did it for the chat. I did it, With
that in mind, here is the aforementioned.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I won't do that.
So remember how we were talking about the smart Bobby Marks, former
Mr. Meatloaf,
former Nets manager. Let's listen to this answer. They brought him on just for the classic, who's the GOAT, Michael or LeBron? And because it kind of picked up steam after the Ray Allen comments. Let's hear what Bobby Marks has to say. Again, very smart guy.
I think Ray Allen hit it on the head, and I'm going to stun you with this take here. I actually think Steph Curry is the second best player of all time, right behind Michael Jordan. Curry has this instinct, what I saw with Jordan, where anytime he has the ball, you think it's going to go in. He is a threat offensively. I think we've got 3 or 4 more years of Curry in his prime right now. I think we could probably do another 15 minutes on what I just said.
I'm absolutely floored.
I think I would put Curry ahead of LeBron James right now as far as that number 2 guy behind
I love this
Michael
so much.
Jordan.
We always do LeBron or Jordan, and here comes Bobby Marks off the top rope.
Why do you always do LeBron and Jordan? Why? That's the question. Jordan was a 9-time all-defensive player. LeBron was a 1-time all-defensive player. And Bobby Marks is right. Steph's going to get more rings. Steph's got 4. He's going to wind up with 6, maybe 7. LeBron's got what, 3? And one of them was questionable.
Yeah, well, that one counts according to Danny because the Dodgers.
I took some crap here, which I'll take it, guys, in the comments. But let's be real: the Giants have 2010, 2012, and 2014, and what
do the Dodgers have?
Hey, what I'm talking about is
This ain't 1955, buddy.
What I'm saying is their 2020 was, it was a fake season. I don't, whatever. They won it. I don't.
What happened the year after?
I don't get into what they did in 2020 personally. But what I'm saying right now is the Giants are living in the past. They are not going forward. And I would still take the Giants 3 World Series and where they're at now. But forget the 3 World Series. It's 10 years, almost 10 years now. It's been 8 since the last one and 12 since the first one. I'm talking about where the Giants are at today, moving forward, and where the Dodgers are at. The Dodgers are in a much better shape than the Giants. They have a better farm system, and they're spending money. The Giants aren't spending money.
Are you saying we're like the 90s Celtics right now after Bird won 3?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Danny. Much better. I mean, let's look at this for what it really is. The Giants have a new stadium that they own outright. The Dodgers have an old stadium. I think the Giants stadium probably produces more revenue than the Dodger stadium. That's more of a guess than anything, but probably. Well, the Dodgers have a bigger market, so they have more people that go to fewer games. The Giants can't really compete with that because the population isn't quite the same here. I think that's a part of it.
I don't want to use the population, though. I mean,
look at the population of Los Angeles.
I know, but we were selling out, Oracle. We were selling out AT&T for a long time. So
yeah, but I mean, that's why they draw more. Here's
my point, though. I I guess what
population means everything. The Giants played in New Delhi. They'd dominate population wise.
Why does St. Louis have such a great attendance?
Well, St. Louis is a definitely great baseball town for sure.
That's what I'm saying. We used to be a great baseball town.
Yeah, this is my point.
This is still a great baseball town. Go ahead, dude.
This is my point. As a season ticket holder, and if you're listening to Giants, I'm not a happy season ticket holder right now because I don't see the effort being put forth, not only in the team, but when I go to the ballpark and then I go on the road and I go to other stadiums and I see how San Diego's running their organization and they've got first class. I got served in my seat. I can order from my phone. I can, Giants game, I got to go stand in a stinking line and wait. I can't even order on the phone and have
you can order on my phone at a ball game.
Well, they used to offer it, but they
go
don't.
Eat a goddamn Dodger dog.
But
I'm muting. I'm muting. You're sitting there wearing our colors, and you're turning on our team. Our team, Dan. Our team. Look, he just keeps talking. Look at that.
That's my team. My team.
No, it's our team. Okay, it's our team. It's your team. It's my team. It's everybody's team. Where's Graves? Do we even consult with Graves on Danny's mute? I feel like we need a mute consultation because I've muted Danny, but let's see what Graves says. He says, the Giants owners fans or just business owners? Imagine if the Giants owner had the passion Joe has for his team. Oh, he's with you.
Oh, I think he's actually. I mean, does that count as an unmute?
Not really. I'm not unmuting Danny until Graves says so.
Graves is the only one with the power.
Graves has the power.
Graves, you want to take a stand? This could be Shakespearean.
I defer to Graves.
We defer to Graves.
Right now, Danny's in a kind of like a silent cone zone.
Hold
him muted for a minute. Hold him muted. That's what Graves said. What time did he say that?
He just
11:27. He wants you muted for a full minute. Look at Dan. Dan's. It's painful for him to be muted. Dan's wife is like, I wish I had this in real life. I wish I had a mute button in real life. She's like, this mute thing works beautifully. I was talking to Faith and Buster the other day about this. That maybe we should be able to mute Dan.
Dan comes home from work and all of a sudden there's another man in the house and Dan's like, what's going on, honey? What is this man doing in our house? What is your explanation? She's like, honey, this is Mark Graves. I've hired him to live in the house and provide services for myself.
Yeah, he's got his own website. It's called realmoremoneythandan.com. All right.
Yeah.
All right, you're back, Dan. You're back.
Okay,
you're back.
I'm back. Thank you, Mark. Okay, so here's my point. And I hate the Dodgers with a passion. I do. I hate them. But I respect what they're doing. I am not happy as a Giants fan right now what they're doing. I think they're putting out a product that is not the best product that they have. It's not like they're stuck and we can't do any. They don't have the resources. They could go out and do things. They could go spend money. They can make some trades. They could have got some free agents.
You're saying they're not really all about the win. They're cashing checks and they're collecting their profits. They're sitting on their profits.
When I go to the ballpark and I see,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
They don't have enough employees. They don't have enough ushers. They don't have enough vendors because
they clearly don't have enough security from what we've seen.
They don't have enough cheerleaders, especially in the bleachers.
It's just. I guess what I'm frustrated is the Dodgers are in on every big trade, and the Giants are runners up. Hey,
have you ever thought about just Bobby McFerrin it? Don't worry, be happy.
But I don't know. I'm just kind of like
you're upset. You're invested and you're upset.
Well, the other thing is here's what I'm going to say. Let me say my piece. I'm not happy. I'm a proud American. Grew up in the 60s and 70s, and it's the best country in the world. And I go to the ball game last night.
Dan, what's
Be careful. This got Drew Brees in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, wait.
I go to the ball game last night, and they're honoring the fallen police officers of San Francisco, the sheriffs, the city, the CHP, and they got all these people lined up. They got motorcycle cops, hundreds of them lined up in the outfield, with their lights going and their horns. And Renelle, she announces everybody to please rise and remove your cap for Star Spangled Banner, national anthem, and we're going to honor these fallen heroes. And where's Gabe? Where's Gabe?
Where was he?
I don't know. He was not visible. He was not visible on the field.
Dan, have you thought about the possibility of an invisibility cloak? Plausible deniability.
So what do you think? He's hiding out in the dugout because of his.
He made that little.
I'm not proud to be an American or whatever it was.
It is until he came out for Memorial Day.
Whatever.
For Memorial Day. But come on, this is your city now. This is.
I can't stand the political stuff. Just manage.
And keep your mouth shut, or just show up for certain things. But you know what? It's like, and then I watch other teams. This is what I watched tonight. I saw the Diamondbacks. I saw the Padres over the weekend. They're all standing out there for the anthem. Tonight, I saw 3 or 4 Giants. That was it. And it started making me think, well, maybe the club's they just kind of follow. And I know the national anthem is probably overdone. 162 games these guys have to get out. It's probably gets old for them, But I mean, other teams are out there. Where are the Giants? I just, they're the first ones out to go out on the field too.
There was no players out there. There had to be some.
There was 3 tonight. 3. I got it on video, and the Diamondbacks, they had about 15, 18. They were.
Are you saying the Diamondbacks have more patriotism than the Giants?
No, I'm just saying
you say the Kapler's squelching their patriotism?
I think Kapler's stance and a lot of the guys are probably kind of like just following the lead. Well, I guess if it's not that important to the managers, it's probably not big of a deal, So
this is the one take I really don't like. And big time Timmy Jim, he says the anthem at sporting events is, what is this, tippus? I don't know what tippus means.
Is that Fips? Fib? Is that the fib thing? Or?
I don't know. But he says, what's the point? What's the point? I mean, what's the point of playing the national anthem? Really? We got to go there?
I will say the one time when I was a little bit anti-national anthem was when we were playing in the finals versus the Raptors, and it was like, oh God, do we really have to get? I'm all nervous, and it's like, God, we got to get through 2 different national anthems. Come on, man.
I don't know. I always like the national anthem personally. I think it unifies it.
It hurts nobody.
Yeah, it hurts nobody. It's just
my God.
Have some pride.
Plus, it's a way for you get different people out there just showing off their pipes and giving it their best.
Yeah, there were some good ones. Somebody sang "God Bless America" last night from the CHP or something like that, or whatever. She was really, really good.
I hate that. Let's cancel the anthem because there's people that have issues. Just because you sing the national anthem, I don't know about you, but I don't look at it like this is me stating that America is in a great place and that nothing needs to be reformed or changed, and everything is absolutely hunky-dory and wonderful. There's nothing about singing the national anthem that is in any way says any of that. So why people read that into it like I'm not happy with things that are going on in the world, and so I'm gonna put the anthem out there, and then it'll be like, well, but it's not about the anthem. Well, why are you doing it during the anthem then? You're gonna use now. You're using the anthem to get attention. I don't know. I know people are very emotional about their causes and about things that they're passionate about. I'm not with you. I'm not going to sit there and just be like, I'm not going to stand for the anthem because I'm not happy with some aspect of American life.
Yeah, and you're talking.
That just doesn't seem like that. That doesn't seem like a connect thing. That doesn't connect for me. Does it connect for you?
Individual idiots that make that ruin things and mess things up. Why do you? I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't want to get too much into that.
Yeah, let's not get too much into it. You've already ruined the show with this.
I'll take it back to the play and the managing.
Can we get back to this, Danny?
Yeah. What's your name?
Taylor Bentley, baby.
What is it?
Taylor Bentley. Woo!
Taylor Bentley. He just caught Tyler Estrada's second home run. Yes.
Let's go, baby.
Look at that.
Let's go.
Hey, wait a minute. You got Estrada's first home run.
First one, second
and you
one.
got a second.
Let's
All
go,
right, check
baby.
this out. Estrada's home runs tonight. All right. All right. Now, okay, you're going to put you on the Larry Krueger show tonight. All right. Okay. Hey, let's get a chant going. When I say Larry, you guys say Krueger. Larry! 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 Larry Krueger! How about if I...
What the hell was that? Oh my God!
These guys,
that's just incredible.
They're yelling Krueger, and at the end, they're probably going, "Who is Larry Krueger?"
Chiguayo 56 donates $5. Wait a second. He says, Krug, we have to be proud of the Giants, win or lose. Just look at how much money the Dodgers have spent the last 25 years compared to the Giants, and they have one championship. Yeah, and that was,
and that was skewed.
It's
anyway,
true. Giants. Dodgers' last title was '88 before the before the.
And I always
the
remind
bubble or whatever.
I remind Dodger fans of that, and it is fun. I've got a really good buddy who's a huge Dodger fan, and I'm constantly saying, "Man, it's still been since '88 since you guys have won a legitimate World Series," and he gives me a hard time. But I'm just thinking now, as we talk about the Giants on a regular daily basis and going forward and where the club's going, I just want to see them be more like aggressive when it comes to trying to win. And it feels like they have this formula. And I don't even and I personally, I think, they won tonight 13-0, and they won Sunday 12-0. So 25 runs in 2 of the last 3 games. Bravo, keep it up.
Winners of 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, but let me say this. I still hate the freaking platoon that they do constantly. And they do it because they don't have any players that are guys that really can go out there every day.
Yeah, I don't think they're pro platoon. They don't have any regulars.
That's what I mean. How does this roster but is
I've
this
actually heard people argue that the platoon is like somehow their strategy. It's like, hey, people, no, that's not it. They'd like to have an everyday catcher, first base, second base, shortstop, third base. They'd love to have a set infield. Their farm system has not developed those players. That's what's going on.
I mean, they did in the early part of this, the last decade. I mean, they brought up. I mean, if you look at the true regulars that we've had, Posey just retired, and then Belt and Crawford, and that was it.
How many wins do you think that we would? How many more games do you think we would have won if we had Aaron Judge starting every day?
Oh, 7.
You think
6?
7?
6.
I think that the attendance would definitely be a lot higher.
I think the attendance would definitely be a lot higher. I think they'd maybe win 3 more games.
3? No. Look at those numbers, Ryan. Those numbers he's got are fat.
Remember when
I would say they would be 6 to 7 more wins for sure.
Everybody else would be better because when you got a guy like that in your lineup,
they don't have a bus driver in their lineup. They really don't. They don't have a main guy.
People better because they see better pitches.
Aaron Judge's wins above replacements 3.8, so maybe 4 wins. Call it.
I mean, I wouldn't judge it that way. I agree with Dan on this one. As far as I think, if you have a guy who's driving the bus, I mean, we saw it for years with Barry Bonds. The rest of the guys can just kind of settle into their roles. The Giants. I brought this up the other day. Last year, Darren Ruff had 225 at bats. He had a great year. He had 16 home runs and 225 at bats.
This year, it's unbelievable.
This year, he's, as Danny just said, he's got over that number of at bats, and he's hitting 220. So you don't want to ask guys to do more than they can do. If you ask somebody to do more than they can do, then, and the Giants do this routinely, I could probably think of 5 or 6 examples of a Giant player that had a good year and it was followed up with, this guy now needs to be great. And then when he was asked to become from good to great, he regressed. Why? Because not every player is an everyday guy. I mean, they reclaimed Darren Ruff out of the KBO. And he gave him a nice 225 at bats, and they should have slated him in for maybe a slight upgrade, right? Maybe instead of 225, maybe 300. He's on pace for like 450 at bats. I asked Eno Saris about the Giants last year in September. And I said, Eno, what has been the key to the 107? And you guys know Eno, right? He's a Bay Area guy. He writes for The Athletic. Awesome writer, terrific guy. And Eno said the Giant, and he was really like succinct about it. And he was like really decisive. He's like, the Giants, and he was talking about 21 Giants. He's like, they have given fewer at bats to struggling hitters and fewer innings to struggling pitchers than any other team in the big leagues. And if you think about that, that really was a big key to their success last year. If they had a pitcher that wasn't going well, boom, he was out of the rotation. They had a cold hitter, boom, he was out of the lineup and he was on the injured list and they were going to somebody else. This year, their depth has been depleted a little bit and they're asking guys to do more than they're capable of. And now the fans are pushing back going, what the hell? But in reality, should they have asked Darren Ruff, a guy who, they reclaimed out of the KBO, to be an everyday guy? No, but they are asking him to. And so now it's like Darren Ruff's in a bad spot because he was a great story and he's still a great story. But now he's being exposed. Marvin Bernard was a 50th round pick who battled his way to the big leagues and was a great, fifth outfielder, speedster, versatile, could play a bunch of different spots, give him a little juice off the bench. But they couldn't leave well enough alone. They had to then give him an $11 million 3-year contract extension and make him the everyday center fielder and leadoff hitter. Guess what? Failed miserably. Why? It's a good story. They made it a bad story because they asked him to do too much. This is a repeated theme with this organization. They ask guys to do too much. Jake McGee, awesome a couple years ago with the Dodgers. Why was he so good? They spotted him a little bit here, a little bit there. He had great numbers, a dominant reliever in their pen. Giants get him. They realize he's got some value. They use him way more. He gives them a good year. Instead of putting him back in a minor role, they thrust him into a bigger role. Now he can't do it this year, and now they've DFA'd him. He'll probably wind up on a contending team in a smaller role and probably have success. Yep. Not everybody's made to play every day. Not everybody's made to drive the bus. Some guys are just not just along for the ride, but they're contributors, but they're not everyday guys.
And seen a big loss of Posey. He was the bus driver, and he's gone.
Yeah. Oh, they lost a ton there.
I will say though, I don't know why are we shouldn't be. I mean, we bagged on the Giants so much. I mean, they finally seems like they're turning it around.
I hear you. It's a little bit of a downer.
I hear you with it. I just want to see.
Like Danny, we said, let's just see if they can go
see what they do. Let's hope they. I want to see.
We said we'll be positive and until the All-Star break, and if they can go 6-3 to the All-Star break, we're back in, and we want people.
I mean,
they're doing. They're 4-1.
Anything can happen, and hopefully they'll keep it going. And they've got 5 games left on this homestand before the break. I would like to see them win 4 of the 5. I think that would give them
a lot, Danny.
It is, but it would give them really good momentum.
4 of 5.
Well, they've got to win a lot of games because they lost so many. When you lose,
you're bumming me out tonight, Dan. You're bumming me out.
I think you might have blew your wad at the party.
Oh man, I shot it. Yeah, with my mouth.
You shot it.
Such incredible energy, though, too.
Yeah. No. Here's the other thing. I'll say this.
It's like you're coming down.
Do you have anything do you got a positive thought? Anything about Mother Teresa or anything real positive about society or
I want to
grow on, like an after school special, anything like that?
Dan, how fun was it watching Villar today get that home run? Was that like unlike anything you've ever seen?
You mean the Little League homer?
Yeah.
That was cool. I love seeing him round second. And
can we hear the
third.
play-by-play of that one more time?
Yeah,
let's hear that.
Just dive into third.
When Danny gets really down in the dumps, we gotta dig him back up.
Bring everything back. Bring the show back up.
Seriously,
back up. I've been bringing it down here a little bit now.
Danny's on the ledge. Let's get Danny off the ledge.
Okay. Also, watching this, I was like, oh dang it, yeah, that's not an inside the park home run, obviously. But then I was like, when was the last time I even have seen an inside the park home run? So then I started putting on a compilation of inside the park home runs. And I saw something that just, I guess maybe for you guys wouldn't be that insane, but for me just still blows my mind because I always forget about it. But it was Deion Sanders hit a liner to center. Bo Jackson lays out to try and catch it. Bo Jackson gets by Bo Jackson, and then all of a sudden, Deion Sanders is rounding and it's an inside the park home run. And I was just like, what the hell? How is that? Like, this just seems so insane. Like, how did those
might be two of the most entertaining players in the history of the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Bo and Deion.
Like, also two of the best football players. Like, what I think of them both as football players in my head. So it's just like, what the heck?
Graves says Danny needs a pick-me-up drumstick.
I need a drumstick.
You do need a drumstick.
But they're in Arizona.
You need a drumstick in the worst way.
Yeah,
in the worst way.
I need some ice cream right now. My throat's shot.
Okay, I have this one saved as Villar, but I think I might have saved the wrong one. I'll give it a shot.
Let's see. Was his first game against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. First pitch he saw, he hit it off the wall. Awesome bomb runner. There's a ball that gets away from the catcher, and both runners are going to move up. So Villar's got a shot. Just a base hit here to knock in a couple of runs. But we're still waiting for that first long ball in San Francisco, and would love to see it right here. Count is in his favor, 3-1. Keuchel looks in. He throws to BR. There's a drive to right field, but right at the right field. But he falls down.
He slips and falls down. And he's going to be waved all the way around to third base. And he's going to go in with a headfirst dive. And the ball gets past him. BR doesn't see it. The ball goes into the dugout. And he's going to score. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And the Giants lead it 4-0. That's a Little League home run. It's the Little League home run version. The right fielder slipped and fell, and it got by and went all the way to the wall. That's McCarthy, I believe, in right field. He just lost it, maybe in the sun.
Wait a second.
Wow, 4-0. Giants.
Right. Can you dig up the Jack Buck call on Kirk Gibson's home run in the 88 series?
Yes.
Because Danny took a little Jack Buck there. He's like, unbelievable! Unbelievable! Very much Jack Buck. I don't believe what I just saw.
You know, it's crazy. I was having a good time out there, obviously, but that was weird because it was right in front of me. I'm looking, I go, oh shoot, it's right to the right fielder. He's gonna snag it in the air, and and then when he fell, I was just like, but the thing about I want to say this. How do I say this? The Giants, I think it'd be an interesting exercise. We've talked a lot about with a club, and I do believe what Farhan is doing is in building the farm system.
Thank you for the donation. I believe I agree. I think the Giants are going to turn it around.
I think the Giants
56 donates. He says Gigantes are going to turn it around. Let's go.
I think
look at Jaguayo faced with Danny's negativity.
I think
and he just says Giants, no, not tonight, not on my watch.
Giants, what they're doing, I'm believing that some of these prospects got to be good, and here's why I say that. They are ranked 9th by a lot of the top guys that rank farm systems, and they were like in the mid-20s a few years ago. And so they've brought this farm system up from like 27th, 28th to the top 10. So that tells me that they're drafting good players, they're developing them, and other people that do, that follow this stuff see that. But my indictment on the Giants is if you did
they won 13-0. Do we have to do indictments tonight?
No, I want to look at the clubs.
Thank you, Counselor. Jay Hutch says Danny needs to relax.
Yeah. I'm pretty relaxed right now, actually, Jay.
Yeah. And Facepalm Godzilla says, don't forget about it, the FIP.
Okay, so this would be interesting for another show, and I don't know how we do it, but maybe I can look it up. But just the National League West Division teams, if you took all the players that were drafted by the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Padres, Giants, and Rockies, and who's doing well, because some of them got traded. And the only Giant that I can think of that's in the league that's doing well that they developed is Brian Reynolds. And I know they also got the pitcher of the Dodgers, the blonde Phil
Bickford.
Phil Bickford. Those are the only two guys I can think of that were drafted by the Giants that are doing anything at all in the big leagues. But
Duvall, Christian Arroyo, there's others, but yeah, I hear you.
But
it's pretty,
pretty
when
the Diamondbacks, you can rattle off a lot. I mean, a lot of guys that are stars. Max Scherzer, wasn't Max Scherzer? I believe he came up with the Diamondbacks.
He did. And Clarence Speaks, as Farhan said, relax.
So I'm gonna, I am a Giants fan, true and true, and I believe they will get better over the.
You've always said that and the children are our future. All right, hold on a second. Let's do this. Danny's weighing us down. What's that?
Want me to play the call?
Yeah, let's hear it.
What do we got?
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game.
Wait.
Run.
Wait, let me get the unbelievable.
And then Danny had his
favorite
He slips and falls down. And he's going to be waved all the way around to third base. And he's going to go in with a headfirst dive. And the ball gets past him. VR doesn't see it. The ball goes into the dugout. And he's going to score. Unbelievable.
Oh!
Unbelievable.
Here we go.
Unbelievable!
Wait, no.
Be a home run. Unbelievable!
Jack Buck, Danny Buck.
Unbelievable.
You channeling your inner Jack Buck.
Unbelievable!
Giants win the pennant.
With a headfirst dive, and the ball gets past him. VR doesn't see it. The ball goes into the dugout, and he's going to score. Unbelievable.
I love it.
Grew up with a Sunday dinner.
Oh my
Only
goodness.
Larry remember Jack Buck said that. I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't remember that? It's one of the famous calls in baseball history. All right, let's do this. Danny needs to regroup.
I need to regroup.
We're coming down the stretch. We're 2 hours and 1 minute into our live stream. It is 11:54. We're going to go till midnight, so we got 6 minutes left. Let's play a few of our commercials. We'll come back. We'll have some final thoughts. We'll play some of those highlights one more time, and then we will bolt for the door on the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, call and make sure you use telmetrics.co, TELMETRIX.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number, 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com, often imitated, never equaled. And they are a proud sponsor of the Krueg Show. Thanks to them.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh, no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
All right, welcome back to the Krueg Show. We're coming down the stretch on
Dr. Marvin. I'm baby stepping. I'm going to be positive about the Giants. I am. I'm trying, Doctor. Come on, I'm not a slacker.
How about this one?
Marvin?
How about this one? Can Pasquale manage? That would be awesome.
I'll tell you,
where can I get the gold chain like Pasquale's DJ Venus? That's awesome. Then we get Tony D. Sausage is an expression. We've got this one from Carlo P. What else do they house at Cassera's? It's an Italian fine menswear, so you can buy suits. Go see Anthony Cassera, go see Tony. Good people, good family friends, and you can get a Krueg Show t-shirt. And I was just told by Tony the other day, you guys saw him at the golf tournament, that he's ordered more Krueg Show t-shirts. So we got to get Danny a bunch so when he goes to the yard, he can hand them out. That would be awesome. And Mark Graves donates $5 and says, thanks for the entertainment, folks. So, hey, Mark, we appreciate you, brother. And everybody who's in the chat, everybody, we appreciate all of you, but especially guys like Mark who are part of our team members. Now, if you want to be a team member to the Krueg Show, should we play the brief video on Krueg Show membership? Here it goes. And we should tell people that, we've been doing having a lot of fun covering sports here in the Bay Area. We've been growing the channel. We have over 5,000 subscribers. We started first week in March. Here we are, first week, roughly second week in July, and we have over 5,000, working our way towards 6,000. And there's a lot of people who are exclusive club members, and they get exclusive content. Well, when football season starts, and when I say football season, I'm talking about training camp. Jaguayo 56 donates $2. He says, Krug, still love you. Dan, ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. We love Jaguayo 56. Jaguayo, have a great night. Thanks for being with us. But I was going to say, once Niner camp starts on the 26th of July, they report the 27th of July is the first day. And Ryan and I will be at camp throughout the summer, and we will be bringing incredible content, video, audio, interviews with players, interviews with coaches, video from practice. And we will have exclusive content coming on a daily basis coming up at the end of July. And we'll be covering the 49ers start to finish. We got a lot of exciting things to announce as far as that is concerned. We'll hold off on announcing it just yet, but just rest assured that Ryan and I and Danny will keep you entertained throughout the rest of the summer during baseball season. We'll be doing our post games and live streams all throughout the season. And then once training camp starts, we are bringing you to Santa Clara. And if you can't go to training camp, don't sweat it. We're going to go for you, and we're going to bring you tremendous content, interviews, lots of videos, lots of coverage, and we'll have special stuff for people who are subscribers of the channel. So if you are in the chat right now, hit like, hit subscribe. We still have, we'd love to get to 10,000 subscribers, sometime before the end of the year, and we're making our way there. So if you've enjoyed the shows and enjoyed the chats and enjoy the things that we're doing, hit like and subscribe. If you hit like, that helps grow the channel. If you hit subscribe, it's free. It's absolutely free. You'll just be alerted. Your phone will send you an alert anytime we go live. And as I said, we're going to be going live quite a bit in late July and August when we get to football training camp. So you're not going to want to miss any of that stuff. Mark Graves said, need Ryan to get a 49er player to yell Krueger. Yeah, that would be good too. That would be good.
Or yell Coccimilgio. Also, I got to say, just speaking of just trying to keep it light and pro Danny, okay, we still haven't. I meant to clip up for a soundbite at the end of yesterday's show, but I would like to replay the ending because it really is freaking hilarious, at least to me, of last night's show.
Okay, go ahead.
Repurpose our own content.
Let's hear it. Monster Slam time.
Hey, before Monster Slam, before you hit the Monster Slam, hey, Graves. Dubon. It's a foul. No way.
This is why I love that.
That is awesome. Dusty Gold says, Danny, no dogs. Where's Faith? Where's Buster?
I'm up in Danville right now, here in the Bay Area. And my dogs are down in Arizona at the resort of what's
Camp
the name
Bow Wow? Camp Bow Wow?
It's kind of like a Camp Bow Wow, but it's called the Firstshire. And they got a big pool. Dogs go swimming in the morning. And when I get back,
are there any prepositions in the name? Like the legend at Arrowhead.
Just the Firstshire.
When you're going to a golf course and there's a couple prepositions, those prepositions cost like $40.
Yeah, exactly.
It's $80 green fees, but if it's the legend at Arrowhead, then it's it's $120. It's $120.
Exactly. So Buster and Faith, they're having a good time. When I get home tomorrow night, they will literally crash for 3 or 4 days. They won't even move. They're just because they play hard. Yeah.
Tony D says, Larry, what happened to your old sign-off line? I used to sign off on the nighttime show on KMBR with Larry Krueger, often wrong, seldom in doubt. Oh man,
I like
good
it.
Stuff.
I like it.
Good stuff.
So,
all right, let's play.
Thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts, and then we'll play that. The people chanting my name one last time because it just makes me happy every time.
Here's my final thoughts.
Give me your final thought.
Have it
be, and it can't be morbid. Positive. Don't give me some morbid final thought.
Final thoughts.
This is Dan Coccimilgio, brought to you by Crew and English Mortuary.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
My final thoughts are good. My final thoughts: the Giants talked about needing some new energy, and Rodon on Saturday throws a complete game, 12 strikeouts. Sunday they follow it up with a 12-0. Tonight, 13-0, 4 home runs, and we're seeing the energy come from guys like Bart, VR, Gonzalez is back,
Coccimilgio,
Coccimilgio in the stands. But we're seeing the young guys come up. As Slater tonight, another guy, couple of hits, good fielding.
Loved him in Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, so maybe some of this energy is coinciding with Longoria and La Stella on the IL. And
Danny, you were going positive. It was a positive
I'm just saying, I want to see these young guys.
All right,
these young guys are coming up, and maybe it puts a fire under Longoria when he comes back and he starts hitting the ball well, and the Giants take this and go into a second half instead of what they did in 2016 when they had the best record and then they tanked and barely hung on. Maybe the Giants have a reverse and have a great second half. And hey, maybe they get into that first wild card spot and host 3 games at Oracle. And I'm out there screaming my head off, Larry Krueger! Larry Krueger!
I wish I was awesome. It was awesome what you collected, but I would have loved to seen your face leading the cheer. That was incredible. Rye, what do you got? You got a final thought here?
I want to commend Danny on just he's out here. He's out here in the Bay. I think I paid him a compliment last night with we had a lot of fun at the golf tournament. I mean, some may say that things started. The energy may have picked up once Dan Coccimilgio arrived at Petco Park. There's murmurs. I'm hearing them. I'm starting them, and again, a lot of energy tonight, and I think we're rolling a little bit here. As long as we trust in the FIP, can get some better defense out there. All right.
My throat has the FIP right now.
I'll say this: I'm so proud of the Giants BABIP, and I don't know. That really says it all. I'm as proud of these guys. Did I ever tell you I was hosting a Niners show, right? And it was one of these radio donkeys basically at KMBR was like, hey, we've got a country western station, so we'll have the country western anchor be part of the pregame show. I'm like, what? Really? So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And they're like, no, we're going to have the guy on. And I'm like, what's his name? So they're like, his name's Mac Daniels. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a fake freaking radio name. Sure enough, I see the guy, meet him. I'm like, hey, you Mac Daniels? He's like, well, he doesn't. I'm standing right next to him, and this is, he's literally 2 feet away, and I'm like, hey, Mac Daniels, what's going on? Nothing. Doesn't turn around. Doesn't say a thing. And then I go, hey, Mac Daniels, what's up, brother? You shining me? I'm the host of the show, Mac Daniels. Said his name like 3 times. Nothing. Then finally he's like, oh, sorry, I just started here. I go, what's your real name? He's like, Bob, something like that. Bob Smithson or something like that. And I go, what's up with Mac Daniels? He's like, oh, it's kind of a country sound. It's my country. I go, you don't even respond to it. He's like, I know, I just came up with it the other day.
Oh, my God.
Great. So now I get this guy on the show, and I'm using the name that my parents gave me at birth, and this guy is using a name that he came up with like on the drive in, and I'm sitting there. So we start talking about Stevie Johnson. Do you guys remember Stevie Johnson, the former Buffalo Bill wide receiver?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's from San Francisco. I think he went to City College. We started talking about Stevie Johnson, and he starts talking about him like it's high school football. And like, you know, so he's on the show and I'm like, I didn't think he should be on because I thought he didn't know shit about football. And I'm like, I don't want to do a pregame show with some guy who doesn't know shit about football. So they assured me, oh no, Mac knows football. I mean, his name's not even Mac, you know, it's just ridiculous. And so I'm like, you know, good perform. We're in the pregame and we're talking about the preseason game from the week before. I'm like, good week from Stevie Johnson. He looked pretty good. And he goes into this soliloquy about how I'm so proud of Stevie Johnson. I'm so proud. You know, it's like totally made it seem like the kid was like a high school kid. It's like, what are we proud of? You know, it's an NFL player drawing a paycheck in the preseason, and you're talking about him like, I'm so proud of Stevie Johnson. Anyway, we saved that cut, and every time that guy's name came up, the producer Tim Webb would drop I'm so proud of Stevie Johnson. I'm so damn proud of Stevie Johnson. And I threw it in Mac's face like 25 freaking times on the air. I'm like, Mac, how about Stevie Johnson? And Tim would hit the thing. I'm so proud of Stevie Johnson. Oh, it was just so high school, Harry.
I thought you were going to say he was a high school football player.
He made it seem like it was a high school football player, but he was giving high school plaudits to a pro.
Mac Daniels sounded career
says I'm gonna coop my losses by selling the playoff tickets if the Giants have home games.
All right, here we go. Before we won't go Monster Slam tonight, we'll go Danny in the bleachers. Can we get both of his talking people up? I mean, he got two different groups of people to chant my name. I got to hear both of them, and then we'll hit the sounder.
We'll start with the appetizer.
These guys are classics. Can't believe I didn't have the camera in there.
All right, let's get fired up here. Let's go! Who wants to fired up? I want to be on the Larry Krueger show. All right. Let's go, Giants! All right, we're out here in the bleachers with the Larry Krueger show. Larry Krueger! Yeah, we're going to be on YouTube right now tonight. All right. Okay. When I say Larry, you say Krueger. Larry! Krueger! Larry! Krueger! Larry! Krueger! All right, let's hear it one more time. Come on, all right. Larry! Krueger! Larry! Krueger! All right, hey, Larry!
I like the fist in the air, too.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about it that feels oddly, like maybe racist. I'm not sure.
That was a little. It's a little intense. It's a little intense. That was that number one or was that number two? That was number one. Okay, so that wasn't enough. Danny had to double down, and here's
because of the home run.
Right.
That was the vibe that it was giving off. All hail Larry Krueger. Which I love. The guy was so
What's your name? Taylor Bentley, baby. What is it? Taylor Bentley. Woo! Taylor Bentley.
Get his name wrong.
And you got a second. All right, check this out. Estrada's home runs tonight. All right. Okay, you're gonna put you on the Larry Krueger show tonight. All right. Okay. Hey, let's get a chant going. When I say Larry, you guys say Krueger. Larry. 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 Larry Krueger.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you won't get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah.